Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, on this is what you can do right now to raise your standards. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Get aspiration mentors.
Get aspirational mentors. I love being around people who've done a lot more than me. This is actually my default. I don't really have people in my life who push me to be better. I don't have too many people around me say, Evan, you really suck at this. Let's go, get better, get better, get better. I get most of mine from aspirational mentors, from Steve Jobs and A.P. Giannini and Howard Schultz and Kanye West.
Rule number 2, change who you hang around.
And when you can change who you're hanging out with, if not actually face to face, but virtually, by watching videos like this, by reading books, putting things on your wall, by being around it every day, I guarantee you that if you were around somebody who is high achieving, you would start to achieve more. All of a sudden, all of the reasons, AKA excuses you have for not following through on the things would go away. Just like if I was hanging out with somebody who was running all the time, who was in peak physical shape constantly, I would likely get in better shape. Whoever's more confident wins. And when you have those moments of weakness, those moments where you feel like you deserve a break, that you've worked hard enough, that when is it gonna happen? And then you're surrounding yourself with people who are negative or who haven't achieved as much as you, don't have as high standards as you. Not that they're bad people, just have lower standards in the thing that you care about. They might have much higher standards in other things that you don't care about. But the things that you care about, they have lower standards. When you're feeling negative and low and that you need a break, they'll tell you to take a break. They'll tell you they're working too hard, and they're more confident in that than you are in the other side. They're more confident in being a complainer than you are in you becoming a high achiever. And so it's changing your standards, and it starts by changing what you consume, changing your habits, and changing who you decide to surround yourself with. You change that, you change your life.
Rule number 3, improve yourself.
Self-improvement is the answer to whatever obstacle is staring you in the face right now. The only difference between you and greatness is the willingness to grow and improve. It's not talent, it's not smarts, it's the willingness to improve yourself. The difference between you and Tony Robbins is he has spent more time constantly improving himself than most people on the planet. Here's a guy who had multiple fathers growing up, had an abusive mother who at 17 he had to run away from home so he could become a janitor and never go to college. He then decided to be a success. He read 700 books in 7 years. He studied under mentors like Jim Rohn, and today he's the founder or owner of companies with over $6 billion in annual revenue. If Tony Robbins can go from being an abused janitor with no college education to being one of the most influential people in the world, why can't you? The difference is he made the investment to constantly improve himself, and you haven't yet at that level. So I look at my channel as an example, my YouTube channel, and I've learned so much over the past number of years in confidence, in growth, in abilities, in skills, by consuming the content, because I love the top 10 series and the Mentor Me series and the Espresso series. I make them for me, and then I share them with you, and thankfully you guys like them too, and I can build a business off of it and keep pumping out more content. But it helps me. I've grown, I've learned. And one of the biggest moments that helped me realize how much I've learned is when I signed a 3-year deal with Sage. I was working with Stephen Kelly, who was the CEO, and every month we'd be on a call. We'd be doing a hangout on my YouTube channel, answering questions from people. And I was driving with my dad, and I remember him asking me, how do you get the confidence to be on a call with Stephen Kelly and be seen as his equal all the time? And he wasn't asking me to put me down. He was asking me in genuine awe of, he was so happy for me that I was playing a bigger game. And it dawned on me that he was right. The Evan of 5 years ago wouldn't have been able to do that. The Evan of 5 years ago would have felt less than. The Evan of 5 years ago would have said, there's no way I'm capable of doing that. And then when I'd signed the deal, I felt like, it's great. I love Stephen, he's amazing, but I feel like I'm hanging out with Oprah and Kanye and Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and these super successful people, and they're infiltrating my brain on a daily basis, right? A daily basis. 3 videos every single day on this channel. And so bit by bit, it pulls me up. Now I've recognized I still have a long way to go. I still have so much more to learn. I still need to believe in myself even more. And every time I consume more content, it allows me to grow my comfort zone a little bit more. And the funny thing is, all of these moments are little tiny incremental parts of your growth. I couldn't point you to one point in my past where I said, that was the moment that I changed. That was the moment that I had more confidence. But as I studied every day, I could look back 3 months, 6 months, a year and say, wow, I've really changed. I've really grown. I've really learned a lot. But in the daily, from today to yesterday, I'd say I didn't grow at all. And so sometimes on your journeys, you're trying to learn and get better. You may feel like the growth is really slow on a daily basis, but if you keep going, you keep investing, you keep learning, you keep seeking out mentors, you keep trying to get better and improve. Not every day will be amazing, but if you try every day to get better and learn, I can guarantee you that in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, when you look back of the person you've become compared to what you are right now, there'll be a big change. And that's because you continue to invest in yourself.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, check out my 254 series where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you an unlisted video. The science says it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So I'm going to be with you every step of the way. If you want to be on for free, 100% free, there's a link below. Go check it out. I'll see you there. Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
It's got to be your life's work. If you only had to write one book ever in your life, this is it, and it's got to be amazing.
Rule number 4, move the break line.
Move the break line. The break line is the line at which you say, I deserve a break. I deserve a break. I deserve for it to be easier, right? It doesn't mean never, ever take a break. Self-care, self-compassion is important. Don't go to the place where you're actually physically burning out. But moving that break line, where you know you're capable of more. You know you can do more. I still surprised myself when I did my tour and I broke my neck and then I continued on the tour. It was just moving the break line. It was just saying, I don't know that I can do another 30 days on the road with a broken neck and a concussion, right? I don't know if I can do this, but let's just go to the next city. And then let's just go to the next city. I'll take a break maybe after the next city. I'll take a break maybe after the next city. And I did the whole thing. It's just moving the break line to show yourself of what you're capable of. Because if this is the max, if this right now, what you're doing right now is the max of what you're capable of, then guess what? You stay here, you stay where you are. And if you're happy with where you are, awesome. But if you feel like you're capable of more, which is probably why you're watching these videos, then you need to move the break line forward. When you tell yourself to stop, when you pat yourself on the back for the effort. I love tying my self-worth to my effort, but are you actually putting your max effort in? Are you actually celebrating the right things? Move the break line forward.
Rule number 5, excellence yourself.
Expecting excellence starts with you expecting excellence from yourself. People want to work for people who they aspire to be like. If someone excellent is working for you, but they have higher standards than you do, they will eventually leave you. Your company's limit is your standards. So I look at Alex as an example, who helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. I invested into the company a number of years ago. I became the 100% owner in it, and then I'm training Alex to run it. One of the things that Alex had an issue was showing up on time. He had low standards for himself of being on time. If you said be here at 10 o'clock, he would be here at 10:15 or 10:20, and that just became what he was known for. Everybody knew Alex as the guy who didn't follow through, who came late to things, and that was Alex. Great. Some people are willing to put up with it. Some people will tolerate it because they like his energy, his enthusiasm, his fun, his bravado. They like it, and they have low standards for themselves. But high achievers, people who have high standards, that would drive them nuts. And people would leave the business. People would not want to work with them. People would want to go somewhere else, because their standards are higher than the person that they're supposed to be working for. Nobody wants to be in that situation. You do not want to work for somebody who has lower standards than you do. And so the challenge became, Alex, we need to raise your standards. You need to start showing up not just on time, but early. For him now, it's 10 minutes early. So if he said he's gonna be here at 10, that means you're there at 9:50. You're there at 10 to 10. You have to be. So you're late. If you show up at 10 o'clock, for Alex, his own standards, not somebody else. If you're showing up at 10 o'clock and you say you're gonna be there at 10 o'clock, he's late to himself. That's the starting point. And as his standards have risen, so have the people underneath his team who are willing to follow him. As your standards rise, as you care more about yourself and what you're doing and what you will no longer accept and tolerate, then the people who are working for you, their standards rise as well. And you're able to now attract a much wider pool because they want to level up. People want to be around you, yes, for your mission, but they want to level up. It's your responsibility to help people level up. And so if you're only at this point, as soon as somebody gets here, they're leaving. But as you can go here, then you can attract a lot of people underneath who want to level up. And they're going to learn from you, not just the knowledge, but the abilities, the mindset, the hustle, the energy, the drive that you pour into your business will be an inspiration to other people when you raise your own standards.
Rule number 6, the last one before our very special bonus clip, have play bigger triggers.
Have play bigger triggers. I like having triggers in my environment that force me to remind myself of who I am, of who I would like to be, of what I'm becoming. So you can have the greatest day of all time. Maybe you watch this video and you're fired up, you get motivated, say, yes, I'm gonna go and do some work. Awesome. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and be the person who you used to be again. You wake up tomorrow and it's a new day. Every day is a new day. And so you might remember to do something, but chances are you may not. And so that's why having play bigger triggers in your environment, you set them up once and it reminds you to go off and play a bigger game. So my office, there's a bunch of play bigger triggers here, right? There's mentors of mine, including my parents, who are looking at me every time I walk into here. There's the awards down here, which remind me of what I do, that 1 million people have subscribed to my channel. Now we're at 2. It's a crazy number that when I'm coming to make a video, lots of people are watching it. I have my neck braces down there to remind myself of when I broke my neck and kept going on my tour. I've got my Doritos here to remind myself that I'm stronger than these Doritos. Damn the Doritos. These things are stronger than me? No, all I want to do is eat this bag every single day. And standing here is a reminder of how awesome I am. At least that's what I'm telling myself, right? They're all play bigger triggers. So what's in your physical environment? What's the background on your cell phone? What's the background on your desktop? How can you set up your environment once, just with some thoughtful thinking once, that then every time you walk into it, it lifts you up.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of following through. That's not enough. But when you write down what time, what place, and how you're going to actually take action on it, you jump to 91% chance of following through. And when you have public accountability and you commit to other people that you're gonna do it, it jumps to 95% that you will follow through. So I want that for you, Believe Nation. I wanna know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
If doing the thing for you right now is easy, it's not enough. You're not pushing hard enough. You're not learning. You're not growing. You're way inside your comfort zone. Expect it to be difficult. If you're trying to accomplish something big, you've got big dreams, big ambitions, big goals. You want to have a giant impact, right? Not just for you, but for the world. You want to serve. You want to help. You want to give. You want to contribute. For that to happen, it's going to be hard. Expect it to be hard. Build your self-confidence off of that. It won't count until it's hard. You won't feel good about yourself until it's hard. If you win a race that was super easy, right? I say, if you ran a race against 3-year-olds and you won, you wouldn't actually feel great about yourself because it was too easy. You're supposed to win. Like, how are you going to lose a race against 3-year-olds? But when it's hard and you show up, even if you don't win that first race, but you're showing up, that's when you pat yourself on the back. Say, I'm doing my best. Your goals don't count until it gets hard. Expect it.
If you want to learn how to raise your standards, it's easier than you think. Watch the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
Nobody wakes up every day and says, this is gonna be the greatest day ever. Not Dan Locke, not Evan Carmichael, not Tony Robbins, nobody. You wake up